Hey folks, I think you can probably hear me, hopefully. We're actually going to get started pretty soon. I'm just working through a little bit of a technical difficulty here, getting Hero Forge into this overlay, but we shall be there shortly. So hang in, and I will be with you in just a couple of minutes. All right, and here we are, finally in there. Sorry about that, a little bit of a late start because I got new overlays. Yep, I've been working on these overlays and have been slowly adding them to each of my games. And of course, Hero Forge is the one standout because it's not a console game, it's a desktop. And I completely forgot to create those window capture elements so that I could show you guys what's going on in Hero Forge. But here we are now. It's here. Welcome. Loki, good to see you. It was great meeting you last night in the stream for the It Takes Tuesdays, which I'm doing with Tamargar. Had a lot of fun there. Thanks so much for the follow. I hope that you enjoyed the stream. I don't have anything to create this week in Hero Forge, so Loki, if you've got any ideas, if you've got a character, Dungeons and Dragons, or if you've got a particular character that you want to have for tabletop gaming, let me know and I can make it. And if not, I'll just pick one of the many characters that I love to create in role playing games. So I'll give you a couple minutes to think about it. Oh, look at that. I have yellow name. I am yellow name. Love it. I forgot to turn those off, but I'll just change that now. And there we go. So yeah, while you're thinking about it or typing, I'll tell you a little bit about what Hero Forge is if you don't know already. But it's a site as a service, HeroForge.com, which is essentially this. You can see it here in the window. It's essentially a 3D model maker with pre-generated parts. But there's actually a lot of customization that you can make here. You can add a lot of different elements, clothing, gear, bases, and then it gets into some posing and advanced posing as well. So you can actually make some pretty cool stuff. So I'll just pull up a few that I have in my my list here. You can save a bunch of stuff. So I've done a bunch in the past. One of these days I'll actually go into characters that I've made for D&D and maybe talk a little bit about those guys. Here's a guy I played for one session. He was a Loxodon monk in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Just loading up. I called him Bada Boom. He was my big, slow, but loud elephant who kicked things a lot and very colorful. So yeah, they have color as well. So you can color your minis. And you can actually even get them printed in color. Although, knowing this is all 3D printed stuff, most likely resin printers, probably the pretty expensive ones. I've gotten one model printed once and it was decent quality. But that was a while ago, and from what I've seen, their quality is constantly increasing, which is great. Yeah, the color stuff. I mean, just generally, color 3D printing is like a step behind where the actual plastic or the sort of non-colored stuff is. They basically have the colors bleed into the material itself, and it causes a bit of sort of muddiness. But if you're just looking for something for tabletop for D&D and you really don't want to paint miniatures, excuse me, well, that's the way to go. You could get a fully painted miniature that you've actually created by selecting colors, basically like MS Paint, and creating a miniature. So yeah, that is my non-sponsored sales pitch for Hero Forge. I kind of feel like this whole channel or this whole stream is one big advertisement for Hero Forge, but that is okay because as you can see, I mean, the heroes that I've shown you, that's a fraction of what I made. I culled a whole bunch of them and went down to basically nothing. So last week I made a Titan from Destiny, which is this guy. And one of the other cool things about the color is that if you don't get them 3D printed, you can actually order a file for Tabletop Simulator. I think it's Tabletop Simulator. It might be Tabletop Simulator or Virtual Tabletop. There might be some conversion that needs to be made, but you can actually have your own custom 3D made miniature for one of those virtual tabletops. So that's kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to go to New. And I am going to start making something. So switch views here so you have a nice big view of our character. I should probably move some stuff around here so that, whoop, it's not in the way. Like so. Again, this is the type of stuff that I was trying to get done before stream and just ran out of time. Put this over here. You don't really need to see the stuff at the bottom. All right. And then finally, just move these guys over here. Oh no, they're going to get in the way there. Down here. Or they're in the way, but not entirely. Cool. All right. So, what are we going to make today? I think I'm actually going to go with something I haven't played with yet. I don't know, maybe... Oh, you know what? I think I know what I'm going to do. But before we get into the actual build, I'm going to go back over here. And I am going to open up a very bright browser here, and we're going to take a look at Games Workshop Warhammer. I think they're called Soul Blight. So these came out. Where are they? Are they Soul Blight? No, these. So there's new vampire miniatures from Games Workshop. I was a huge Warhammer player. Old edition stuff, like old world stuff, which is why I'm a little excited about the old world that's being reintroduced, that's coming out again. But I was a vampires player, and there's a lot of really cool new plastics coming out from Games Workshop. So like, take a look at this guy. That's, can I zoom in on that? I'll just go back to the big view. Yeah, check out that guy. That's pretty crazy. I like that guy. This is pretty good. There's another one down here that I saw. I like this guy with rats for a cloak. He's pretty neat. New riders. They look like Blood Knights with those amazing sort of like sculpted banners. I think that's a sculpt, so that you just paint it. There's a lot of really cool new vampires, and then I don't know where I'm gonna find this, or where someone sent me this image, and I was like, I have no idea what this thing is supposed to be like. Like check this out. Look at this crazy monster thing here. And now I'm gonna actually jump away from all this for a second. Go to camera. And then it'll probably be too small for you to see, but that's the point, because I'm going to be looking at a buddy's Facebook, and I don't want any info getting out because I haven't asked him for permission to share our messages from Facebook. But I'm just going to pull this up because I know that the image isn't there. Somebody's sending me a photo of their A&W. Oh, 3 years ago. Yes, like I thought. They haven't eaten like that in a while. All right, so... Cha-cha-cha. Ah, yes. How slow the internet is when I'm streaming. All right, so... Tiny window. Oh, my Lord. Sorry, I am in a zone where my Mac no longer wants to cooperate and do anything when I'm streaming. And I'm getting close to it. This is our very long chat after he showed me some of these new models that Warhammer or Games Workshop announced. And just this one thing, I don't, oh, you know what? Yeah, there they are. One of these. I just don't get what this is supposed to be, and I think it's kind of like the idea that there's the joke I made. I'll show you that after. They have to basically one up themselves every single time. So you know, it's just at the point now where for standard armies in Warhammer, it's not enough to have, you know, a spearman or, you know, great weapon fighters. Now they have to have, you know, really crazy metal lord swords, and it just has to get crazier and crazier and crazier. And the craziest thing I've ever seen was this thing. Let me just bring that up. Whoa. Yes, there we go. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, so as far as I can tell, what is going on here is that there is, it's the body of like a giant bat with bipedal legs, and then like full torso, arms and everything, and then where the head would be, there's another full torso of a human being. It's like a centaur with a centaur head. Like I don't even know what to call that. It just looks crazy. I don't even know what's going on there. Anyway, so I thought, okay, maybe there's some kind of in-world explanation, but just showing me this image, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I thought I don't mind the idea of a vampire centaur, but this thing is just weird looking. So anyway, so that was how the conversation when we started talking about how bizarre this thing is, and why is this a thing that's needed, or is it just because it needs to be different and cool and it can't just be a standard vampire? You saw those other models I showed you; those look amazing. Those look like great vampires that you could use in fantasy campaigns, in Warhammer. There's a Cursed City board game or board game like miniatures game that Warhammer or Games Workshop always also put out. They all look great, but this one, I don't know. So, how about this week? What we do in Hero Forge is we make ourselves some kind of vampire centaur. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find a centaur body here. And then I am going to figure out what we need to do and what we can do. I haven't actually played around with the centaur body yet. So did I pass it already? No, I don't think so. Oh, I must have. How did I miss it? I thought it was with the snake folks. Oh, there it is. Actually, I'll go here. All right. So do I still have this? I still have this as reference. Perfect. So I'll keep this, and then I'll be able to take a look at it. And then I'll jump back over to what we're building and see what I can do. All right. So now, the big thing is advanced poses. And I think the problem with the centaur, or with any of the miniatures, is that you can never actually control the leg poses. So if we tried to do something where we replace the legs with these big bat wings, I don't think that that's going to work. And we won't be able to get a dynamic, the pose on this thing is pretty awesome. Like if you were to get rid of the vampire torso up top and just put like a super awesome beast head on that thing, I think it would look amazing. Like that would be really cool. I just don't get the anatomy of this thing. I mean, yes, we're talking fantasy creatures and centaurs are weird enough as it is, but that's what I'm getting at. This is already insane. We didn't have to make insane more insane. All right, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach this time. I'm going to start with my advanced pose, or with my poses, and see what happens. Yeah, okay, so there is a bit of... Oh, that's good. Okay, there are poses. So I can find something that looks dynamic. It might not be the same as what we have in that image, but it'll be a good start. So I'm just going to click through all of these because I've never really seen them before. I liked that sort of rearing one. That was pretty good. It looks like there might be just a few different leg poses, and then it's the upper body that we really have to deal with. Yeah, all right, so let's stick with that one. Is there anything else? No, they're all basically the same. Yeah, so this. Oh. That is interesting. But I'm going to go with this. All right. And then the next thing I want to check, because this is something that happened to me before. Yeah, you can't use any of the special bases at the bottom there with centaur bodies. Okay. So we've got our base pose, and we're going to go in, and we are going to, no, not species, we're going to go into body first, and measurements. So we're going to adjust those measurements to get something that we like. So in this case, I can make them much taller. Wow. Which is kind of cool. And then posture. Less of a build. Not that crazy tall. So I think I'm going to go with a very small build. We want more of an emaciated look. Some musculature. One thing about waist and belly is I like to have them in because I find otherwise the curves here look a little bit off. Like, see, like that looks better than that. It just looks like comes in on the sides and then out and then in again. So I usually keep a bit of a waist and a bit of a belly. But again, flavor to taste. All right, so I think that's pretty good for our measurements. The arms are a bit long right now, but I'm going to keep them like that for a bit. I could always shorten them afterwards. Tail. Might be neat to do something other than a horse. That's kind of cool. So the other thing about Hero Forge that is interesting is that they are constantly adding new things. It's like almost like every other week I come in here and there's something new. I think that one dragon's tail was pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Let's look at our source material again. They have a tail. It's a little bit longer and thinner, but I'm going to go with something that has a bit of detail in it. All right. So now go to torso. You can do skeletal, which we don't really need. Animal-like. What's this one? Oh, frog. No, we don't want frog. Damaged. I think that's sort of like the zombie one. That's good. Maybe a bit too zombie. Gaunt. That's good. That's what we're looking for. Which is basically the damaged one, but without the actual like bones protruding through the skin. One second. All right. Now, like I said, I don't think we'll be able to replace the legs with wings. You can do some pretty crazy stuff with posing, but I have a feeling that is going to be... Whoop, whoop, and I just lost Hero Forge. I think I just lost what we did. I can almost guarantee it. Thankfully, it was at the start, but this is a good time for me to say what I always say to my students. Don't forget to save. Save often, because stuff like this happens. Oh, beautiful. Didn't lose a thing. That is nice. It was saved in the cookies. Saved by a cookie. But yeah, I think maybe at this point we should save. So I'll just save as hero. Done. All right. So let's try some of those wings and just see what we can do. I'll give you guys a little bit of a taste of what advanced posing is like. And they have some nice big XL wings. Demonic feathered wings might be cool. A little bit different from what they have. These are like the ones that is in our model. Close-ish. So if I go down to pose and then advanced posing, I have all these options here. So I can pick a wing, but I can't change where it is attached. So I feel like getting it down, yeah, it's not really gonna work. It's not gonna get down far enough. So we're gonna have to create our Centaur with back wings. Or what I could potentially do is make the wings replace the arms. So I could go back to body, arms. And you can add multiple arms as well, or you can. And then go to clothing. Get rid of that chest clothing. And then back to pose and advanced. And then just move those. Like that. And then it looks like it's it's wings instead of arms. Looks like it's not really 100% movable or posable. It's pretty posable. I just don't want them to be identical. So I'm trying to find a good pose for this arm here. So yeah, let's take a look at our reference again. Yeah. Now, I still want to have the sword and the stuff in the hands though. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that. I might have to adjust it now, but I'm going to go back to body. And I'm going to add one set of arms. You're going to add 2 arms, so you can have up to 6 arms. But I'm just going to add 2. Perfect. And I'm going to keep these ones where they are, and I'm going to move the lower ones into position. And again, I'll do that with my advanced pose. Just look back here quickly. So this one. So the core arms are the ones that will have the clavicle. Oh, and that's something I could play with too, I guess. Hold on. Or not. All right, so I'll just leave that. I'm guessing because there's no arm, it doesn't let you do it at all. So I'm just setting it up right now. I'm not doing the full arm pose. I'm probably going to do something a little bit different than what we have here, but I want to get it similar, something similar to that. At least similar in the feel, in the atmosphere. All right. So normally I do a lot of details before I get into the pose, but this time this has kind of worked out pretty well. You know, that's not actually bad. It's like no face whatsoever. That's good too. Let's see what we can do for teeth. Oh, those rat teeth. There's the vampires. These are always good too. Let's go back to that face and see what that looks like with the... I might look just a little too Evil Dead. I love me some Evil Dead, but hey, Pripyat, thanks for joining. What's the theme? Well, I don't know. If you can tell me what this is, then that's the theme. And the joke that I have been making, and I wish I had the link here, or maybe I do. How can I find this? This must be it. So this is something from the new Vampires line from Games Workshop for Age of Sigmar or something. And I just don't understand what's going on. There's like sort of demonic hind legs, bat wing / arm, forearms with a full torso and body, and then where the head is, you got another torso coming out of it. And I just go, what? To the point where this is how I was making fun of it. I called it the Bat Tour, and then I called this the Bat Tour because it just looked ridiculous. But here, actually, we can see another pose. This is a different one, and I've just stuck her head on top of two photoshopped versions of the other guy. But you can see how it has these like bestial hind legs, and then a tail, and then just lots of spiky wing arm things, winglings. But yeah, and I mean, there's other really good stuff. Here's something. This is like a cool ghoul type character. It's like, that's really awesome and huge and like insane, but also like still within some kind of realm of realism. This one's awesome. Another vampire. It's just crazy lady with crow's feet riding a wolf. Why not? There's new direwolves as well, which I saw. I don't think I have an image of them here, but they look really good. And then orc, and then crazy. Well, those are too small, but yeah, lots of really cool stuff. But this, I don't know. So anyway, so the theme has been, let's make some kind of female vampire centaur thing. How happy she is. She's just happy to be a centaur. I kind of like the damaged one with those crazy teeth. And then for hair, actually, let's go into pose. Fix that head first. Advanced. Head. Yep, Fudge is right. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what that was, what I saw. Well, I mean, we can always ask the expert. We can ask our Centaur lady. What does she think? What do you think of that bat tor? Does it look realistic? No. All right, she agrees. And if you go to face pose, I can get rid of the smile. She is not happy. Give her a real snarl. And then open up that mouth wide. And now I see that I do need to get rid of some of those teeth. That's a lot of teeth. As Prip said, too toothy. Oh, who's there? Bill Nye! How's it going, Bill Nye? Mr. Subscriber. I'm doing all right. It is Emma here. Okay, you can't hear a word that I'm saying because you've got no audio on and you're lurking, so I'm just going to give you thumbs up. All right, so here we go. That looks pretty good. It's funny how that the face looks more scarred now rather than like zombie eaten. I like that. So you want to give her different brows and go with something much more fuzzy. No, I think those original ones are pretty good, but the hair we got to change because if you look at that model or reference, she's got some pretty badass sort of, I don't know why, but I'm reminded of the Misfits from not the actual band The Misfits, but the Misfits from Gem and the Holograms, the original. I loved me some Misfits. They were punk and they were cool, way cooler than Gem. So we can do something like that, maybe. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, it interferes with the wings though. I guess I could move those wings a bit. Oh, is her brain showing through? Oh, boo. I didn't even notice that. Oh, of course I didn't because she had hair on. Boink. Better. All right, so that's a possibility. If we go and where's hair again? If we move or reposition the wings a bit, but I kind of like where they are. So I'm just trying a couple of different things. I know there's like one of those, what is it, like undercuts? There it is. There's a couple of them actually, but that one's pretty good. That looked okay from this side, and it wasn't so great from the other side. Just a small mohawk. Man, those shoulder blades are really being pushed out by those wings, aren't they? Well, I think for now, I might just stick with this one. And you know what? I think that means we can go with this because it covers up the brain damage. All right, so let's go with that. So here's a hint or a tip if you are creating tabletop miniatures, like miniatures that you actually want to use on the tabletop. It's always best to sort of angle them slightly back. So slightly back, and also, what am I looking for here? There we go. So slightly back, or their heads facing slightly tilted, like necks tilted backwards so their faces are more up. Because if you think about it, with a miniature on the tabletop, you're going to be spending most of your time looking down at it. So actually think about what angle it would be on the table that you've got in front of you and what that angle would be. So with our miniature here, if I jump back into game mode, so you can see like this is probably the angle I'd be looking at this miniature at. So if I look at it straight on, you'll notice I've got the wings sort of curved so that the inside face is facing up. Not so much on this one because I wanted a different look, but at least one of them is. And then I've got them rearing so the chest is facing up and the head is facing up even more. So if I were to look at my miniature on the table, it would probably look something close to that. So I just have a pretty good look at the best parts of the miniature. You always want to emphasize the face and then the hands. So one of the things you'll notice, Warhammer miniatures included, they're considered heroic scale. So take a look at this creature's hands. They're huge. Like they could cup their entire face. Like I got big hands and I can kind of do that, but they could definitely, no problem, get that done. Cup their entire face with their hands. So the hands are sort of accentuated. They're made larger. And some of the features on the face are made larger, like the ears. Usually the nose, although this model won't have one. But you get the drift. Yes. Yes, it is indeed an odd creature. It is based on this thing. Like, what is that? I don't know. It's weird. So this is what I have tried to make out of it. Some kind of weird harpy horse hippogryph. A harpygriff. I like it, Harpygriff. I bet you that's the thing. All right, so... ooh, softness. What if I take the softness down? Oh, that is actually pretty good. Even more gaunt. I'll just go about halfway. All right. So now I think we're going to probably start adding in some armor. So some kind of like Blood Knight, Dragon Knight style armor. I don't know how much we'll be able to add to the lower body. But that's where we might have to add in some extra arms, holding stuff and doing stuff. So I might just prep for that now. So let's take a look at what we could potentially do. I'll save it here before we get too far. So this is the sort of like the new thing, the new way that I'm working. And that is to use some of these additional arms that you can add to create, to hold things, but to be fold into the body and then just be used as basically props. We can't do that with the tail here because the tail is on the back end of the horse and not just the back end, the tailbone of the bipedal miniature. So you can't really fold it into the body as well. Plus we want to have it, so there's that. I'm going to leave it as gaunt, but I'm going to go into my advanced pose. And I'm just going to test to see. So the good news is it's pushed those wings up though really far. It's not horrible though. So if I go, no, I don't want to save just yet, but just trying out some additional wing poses. I see, so if I do push them back, then that one piece gets attached the back and won't sort of cross over that sharp part. But that's not as interesting a pose. So I'm gonna go to heroes and reload our hero. Don't save. I think 1 up might actually be good. And I did the other one, but I think it should be this one. Oof. It's just a jumble of muscles on the back there. I feel like I'm probably just going to go back to how we had it before. That's not bad. It's pretty close to how we had it. Maybe tilt. Bend? Yeah. Just trying to avoid them being too samey. Sometimes having the symmetry is nice, but sometimes you just want just a touch of a different angle like that. I think that causes or creates more visual interest. It looks a little bit more natural. All right. So working a little bit with the pose again. And then, oh, that arm's way too straight. Starting to think that the elongated arms are going to have to go. No, not gear. Well, we'll do gear first. No, clothing first, and then we'll go into gear. So take a look at some of this armor. Probably just go through the chest pieces. Try to find something suitably vampiric. Armored. There's a lot of stuff here, and I find that they're always adding new stuff. So there's always something interesting and new to play around with. A lot of different styles, influences, so there's always something to find. I find that these are actually... Oh, right, because the arms... You know what? I think maybe this whole multiple arm thing is overthinking it. So I'm going to go back to just regular arms. And have the wings as wings. I don't know. I keep coming back to yeah, no arms. He's reading an invisible Bible. Oh, advertisement. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me that those are there. I'm gonna turn those off for everybody else. Or to turn those off, I'd have to make you guys sit through 2 minutes of ads. So I think at this point, we're just gonna let the pre-roll ads go. Yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe there's some kind of really bare minimum He-Man style chest armor. You won't let me use that. I almost feel like nothing would be best. Maybe just a couple of seashells. Sensor wood plank. Sports bra. She's going to the gym to work out. Killstreak wants ads. Give me more ads. I want all the ads. No, you know, I feel like we might just have to go bare-chested with this one. Or rags? Oh, rags might be good. Everything just gets really bulky. And because the sleeves don't go round, I can't do that one. Yeah, see, I can't use the ones that have sleeves because there's no arms. Ugh. Yeah, I'm starting to think I'm sold on... Oh, what's that? Yeah, see, that's what I was looking for. Some kind of He-Man chess piece. What's this one? Hammered metal chess piece. Oh, this is probably the one. Yes. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Killstreak, be nice to Streamlabs. They're a new subscriber, follower, thingamajigger. All right. So we got a good armor chest piece. That looks good in my opinion. And let's see if we can get some neck gear. Some skulls on there. That might be good. Or some little lion tiger heads. That looks good too. I think I like that choker. Dented metal collar. A chain. She's pretty punk, but I think this... It looks vampiric, but I think this is a little... like almost too elegant. I actually didn't mind that big metal collar. All right, so shoulder pads. No, not neck, shoulder. Oh yeah, there's new ones. They're pretty wild. Whoa. I'll say. But they definitely have that look. Like if we go back to our reference model, they have that sort of dragon, sharp-edged look to them. Where do we get that collar? Don't know how. I think something like that. That might be too big. But it would kind of replace the collar and the shoulder pads in one. I like these ones. What's these ones again? Oh, leaf? Too leafy? Yeah. All right, let's go with those, and I'll pose those after. And then for gloves, my coffee's gone cold. And also it's 9 o'clock and I'm drinking coffee, and that's not a good sign. I'm picking gloves. Are they going on? I'm not seeing them. All right, let's, I do want to shorten those arms a bit. I did make them quite long. No, not gear. Clothing. Gloves. Oh, because I didn't pick the right arms. I picked the L Stumpies. So they clearly can't wear gloves. And again, if we go over here, I feel like I'm going to have two different ones. So remove the link. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. Find a good wristband. A little bit too chunky. Oh, maybe that. That one's not bad. I need something that's like sharp, pointy-ish. Thieves leather, no. I want something more. I think that one's pretty good. No, I'm going to go back to that blackguard. All right. Legs, it's going to tell me no. Oh! Belted rags and cloth wrap. Very cool. I think belted rags, that's probably going to look good. Yeah, that's closer to what I want. What about feet? Are they going to give me something for feet? Nope. Mask, don't need it. Head, probably not. No, not going to give it any kind of helmet, though I might do horns. I wish they had some kind of high collar for this, but I think I'm out of luck for the high collar. I have to try to build it out of those shoulder pads or something approaching it. All right, and now we go into gear. So the main thing we need some kind of sword. Might not do something 100% rapier-like, and then some kind of chain or something they're holding in their hand. Oh. All right, so sword. Too big. And big isn't necessarily bad, but not like that. Bat themed sword. That looks good. These might all be too big. Let's stick with that one. Miscellaneous for the other one. I know they have some holy symbol type things. Like this pentagram. I don't know why the arm position changed. So now it looks like they are rubbing their belt buckle with it, but okay. All right, so let's fix the pose on the arms first. We can add more gear to the back and to the sides, but I think the two arms are going to be the main ones, so we're going to adjust those first. Advanced pose. Just bend and rotate it till it's in a good position. Same with our other one. Just put it in position. Something like that. And then we can start to go in and adjust things like the shoulder pads. Make them go large. Or not. Interesting. Apparently the shoulder pads can't be edited. Or maybe it's because they are on arms that don't exist. Well, that's too bad. We may be stuck with them in that pose. In which case, we may want to actually just remove them. I don't know, what do you guys think? Shoulder pads or no shoulder pads? I think I'm going to go with, you know what? Let's take a look at some of the other ones. Because if we can't move them, maybe we can just pick ones that fit. See, they just clip everything. Everything just clips. Oh. I think those were probably the best ones we've seen so far for not clipping, but they don't look great. All right, well, if we leave it at that. I don't think we need to actually do too much else to this. I mean, it is more of a creature than anything else. So I think I'm going to call it there. Just finish off the base. And rounded rim. Make it like the cobblestone. Or dirt. And I can put poop down. No, I'm not going to put down poop. I will leave it as is. There we have it. Our, what I called again? Harpygriff. Like a hippogryph. She's got some armor on. I mean, it's definitely not the same miniature as that Games Workshop one. And again, like I mean, the detail in this sculpt and paint job as well is stellar. The one thing that just throws me off is the anatomy. I just don't know. Like I just feel like does it move its torso like it would a neck? And does it move quickly? And does that give the upper torso of this thing whiplash? It's just so very strange. I think it would have been better if this torso, if the female armored torso was the torso of the beast, but it had these additional large arms. It had 4 arms. The 2 armored ones with a sword and the looks like a vial of blood on a chain, and then the big, long, lanky, batwing-like ones. But this just I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, that's it for our stream. Thanks so much for joining. Where are we? Here we are. So yeah, I just wanted to, before I go, let you know you've been watching Tiny Adventures in Hero Forge, and of course I didn't finish this setup. So, but Tuesdays, I'm doing It Takes Tuesdays with Tamara. Some of you were there yesterday to watch that. We've been playing through A Way Out, and tomorrow is not Ghosts of Tsushima Legends anymore, because that is now all available on YouTube, and Prip and I have moved on to Sniper Elite. So tomorrow we'll be playing some Sniper Elite. We just finished Deathstorm Part 1 last week, and we're going to be doing, we're probably going to be doing Part 2 this week, I think. We talked about maybe going back and trying to do Deathstorm Part 1 and not being extremely loud and assaulty, and actually making it Sneaky Thursdays like it's supposed to be. But we'll see what happens. I think we'll probably just end up going into the next mission, and then maybe we'll come back and do that another time. But anyways, that's been it for the stream. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys had a good time, and I will see you in the next one.